Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the words Spot Media. The Manchester police are now questioning the boyfriend of an employee of the Mandeville tax office in connection with her shooting death yesterday. The woman, 34-year-old Kenisha Mackenzie Gale, was shot dead allegedly by her boyfriend, an ex-soldier of the Jamaica Defense Force. The details surrounding the incident are not immediately clear. However, it happened at the couple's home in New Green outside Mandeville. The incident shocked staff members at the Mandeville Collectorate, and the Mandeville tax office was closed yesterday as staff members received grief counseling. Jamaica is now closer to having a national health insurance scheme. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says progress has been made with plans for the implementation of the scheme. Dr. Tufton gave an update when he made his contribution to the sectoral debate on Wednesday.
Mr. Speaker, we're working aggressively at this national health insurance scheme. Consultants from the WHO and POW have generated a first report looking at the scheme, looking at the options. So we have gotten that first report. We are now in the process of recruiting another internationally experienced consultant who will work with the committee that has been established to drive the deliverables of this scheme. We intend, Mr. Speaker, in keeping with our commitment, to have a plan this year, and will update this House accordingly on the implementation schedule moving towards a national health insurance scheme.
Staff members and students of the Westwood High School in Trelawney are picking up the pieces following a massive fire at the institution Tuesday night. The blaze, which damaged the kitchen, the changing room and the laundry area, has left millions of dollars in damage. TVJ's Kirk Wright is at the school and now joins us live with the latest. Kirk?
Thank you very much, Herman. I can tell you, though, that not much has changed since yesterday when the fire department came, the police came, and both did assessment. In fact, the fire department said that they would be sending back items to their forensic department back in Kingston. But today we have the regional director for Region 3, Miss Maxine Headlam. She is here to sort out things, to speak with the principal and to get things organized. We know that exams are just, they start next week. So we're going to have a chat with Miss Headlam. Miss Headlam, you're here and you've spoken to the principal, and surely you have put some temporary plans in place. What are those plans?
We are going to be allowing students who are preparing for exams, the grade 9 students, those in grades 11, 12 and 13, to be back at school. They're actually here, and we are going to also be doing some temporary catering for them from the hostel. The other students will be coming in, the boarders should be coming in between Sunday evening and Monday morning, and that is where the challenge and the main student body, the full population, should be here by Tuesday. That is where the main challenge is going to be in terms of providing catering for them. We are in the discussion right now, the whole matter of outsourcing, and we are going to be continuing the arrangement at the hostel for the boarders. So we are pretty much going to be back to a semblance of normalcy for next week.
Tell me something about funding. Any funding coming to the school from the ministry?
We'll definitely have to consider what is needed. I know that they have lost quite a bit in terms of the foodstuff that were in storage, and we are going to be also needing to re-equip them. With regards to the funding in terms of rebuilding, we can't yet do the assessment because we are going to have the persons coming, the technical persons coming in. We need a structural engineer, and so whatever estimate we do now would not be very correct until we get that kind of assessment going, and then we'll take it from there. But we'll definitely have to re-equip them in order for them to continue to feed our children.
Thank you very much. And you've heard it from the regional director, and I should tell you also that some students are here preparing for exams, which starts on Monday, and the school wants the corporate Jamaica to know that if they want to come on board and join and help with the rebuilding process, then they only need to call the school. Herman?
All right, thank you, Kirk Wright, a reporter there reporting live from Westwood High School in Trelawney. In other news, one of 3 persons injured in Saturday's arson attack at the house in Stonefield Barbary Hall in St. Elizabeth has died. 49-year-old Alan Baker, who sustained severe burns to his body, succumbed to his injuries on Wednesday evening at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Mr. Baker's daughter, who was also seriously burnt, is still in hospital. Her 14-year-old son, who was also injured during the incident, has since been released from hospital. The 3 were reportedly attacked at their home by 40-year-old Alvin Francis, who reportedly poured a corrosive substance on Mr. Baker and his daughter before setting the house ablaze. Mr. Francis was later found dead some distance away from the house with chop wounds. It's believed that he was attacked by a mob. 4 people, including a Jamaican, are dead, while 2 others, one of them also a Jamaican, remain in hospital following a 2-car crash in the east end of the Cayman Islands. The mishap, which occurred on Tuesday evening, is considered the worst traffic crash in Cayman's recent history. The names of the Jamaicans have not been released as the police are trying to contact their families. The Royal Cayman Island Police Service yesterday held a news conference to detail their version of the events. Cayman 27 News aired this report.
As a police car traveling east, somewhere on Austin Connolly Drive, passed a black Honda Accord. The police radar registered that car was speeding. Chief Inspector Frank Owens declined to give the exact speed.
The officer simply saw it was driving and his radar highlighted the speed, which was excessive in the area. The single crewed police vehicle then stopped, activated the blue lights, and on turning around, the Honda Accord was out of sight. A short time later, the police officer came upon the vehicle collision.
A silver Kia Rio rental vehicle was traveling east on Austin Connolly Drive. Police say the black Honda crossed the center line and the cars collided head-on. Mr. Owens says it was a matter of minutes between the officer activating the squad lights and discovering the crash.
There was no police pursuit.
The 3 people in the silver Kia, a 72-year-old driver, his 74-year-old wife, and a 69-year-old relative, all died. The driver of the black Honda, a 22-year-old Jamaican, is also dead. Police believe the 2 male survivors from that vehicle were not sitting in proper seats.
The 2 male passengers in the Honda vehicle were traveling in the open trunk of the vehicle.
They remain in hospital. Mr. Owens also addressed social media rumors that those in the Honda were poaching conch.
The Honda Accord did have several conchs on board.
He did not say that had anything to do with why the vehicle attracted police attention.
The speed limit at the location was 30 miles per hour. It was recorded in excess of that speed.
Mr. Owens was unable to answer several questions regarding seatbelts, distance from where police activated lights to the crash site, nor whether alcohol was involved, saying it's too soon in the investigation, before reiterating what many are feeling.
Obviously, this is such a tragic accident and the loss of life.
Tragic indeed. That report from the Cayman 27 News. The Kingston and St. Andrew Development and Homecoming Foundation was officially launched yesterday. The foundation will undertake projects such as the establishment of a skills bank and residents and members of the diaspora. It will also implement community development projects and establish an education development fund to provide scholarships and grants for needy students in both parishes. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, said both political parties are in full support of the foundation and is urging residents of Kingston and St. Andrew to make use of the opportunities provided to improve their quality of life.
We are encouraging everyone to contribute to the building back of our communities and to re-engage each other to create a sense of belonging and ownership. This foundation, which was set up in September 2016, focused on fostering positive people development, positioning Kingston as the center of the Caribbean.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is insisting the government did not issue handouts when it moved to help final year UWI students who were about to be barred from exams by the campus administration recently because they owed money. The Prime Minister made the assertion as he was being inducted into a special park of graduates on the Mona campus today. He also suggested UWI graduates should not just be asking what their country can do for them.
A special day for Prime Minister Andrew Holness on the university campus he once attended.
The UWI is pleased to applaud the works of one of our most distinguished graduates.
Not just any graduates. This park was set up specifically so the UWI could celebrate, well, boast about graduates who go on to become CARICOM prime ministers and heads of government. Some former government ministers and other officials were looking on as Andrew Holness took his place in the garden of graduates, though not all of them former UWI students. The institution is no stranger to complaints that its effect on Caribbean society has been less than impressive. In that regard, the Prime Minister issued a challenge to those still attending.
The other transformation that I would like to see happen in Jamaica is for Jamaicans to take responsibility for their destiny, their future, their outcomes.
This induction ceremony comes weeks after the Holness administration rushed to help final year students who were going to be barred from exams because they owed the campus money. It's earned the government criticism from some quarters. The Prime Minister made one thing clear: it was not a handout.
So yes, we have assisted, but you must pay back so that others can benefit. And you must pay forward. Help others who are coming. Give back to society.
Vashan Brown, TVJ News.
We're going on to sports. With the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar still shrouded in controversy, the Gulf state has put several measures in place to help change some of the negative perceptions ahead of the tournament. TVJ's Jordan Ford visited the organizing committee headquarters in Qatar and filed this report.
The 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar has been marred in controversy from the bidding process to reports of ill treatment and even death of a number of workers. Because of that, organizers have taken a number of steps to try to clean up the country's image as they prepare to host the biggest single sporting event in the world. So I'm standing outside the newsroom at the Qatar Supreme Committee's headquarters. They are the organizing committee for the FIFA 2022 World Cup. They've actually established this newsroom to put content out there that shows the positive side of Qatari sport. The newsroom was put in place to ensure that Qatar was able to tell its own story. For example, how they were able to lay the pitch for the first stadium scheduled to be completed in capital city Doha in a record 13.5 hours. Another strategy being undertaken by organizers is to invite fans to come and witness the culture of Qatar.
Qatar as a whole is a very diverse culture, has a very diverse culture. We have more than, I'd say, 200 nationalities living in Qatar. So it's very diverse, but at the end, people who will come visit, I believe, will want to have the taste, the culture of the Arabic culture, want to visit our museums, want to see how our culture looks like. And then we are also aiming to have Qatar be visited more as a tourist attraction, and people will come visit more after the World Cup. So yes, I believe that people who will come to Qatar should also want to have a taste of the culture.
But part of that culture is that the Qatari government does not allow the drinking of alcohol in public places.
As per our governmental rules, alcohol is allowed in Qatar, and was also allowed before us hosting the World Cup. So this has never changed. What our government is having as rules is that only closed hotel places will have alcohol in them, and this is our culture, which I think will not change regardless of the World Cup.
The organizers have also put other things in place, like having a legacy pavilion where decisions are taken on what will be done with stadiums once the World Cup has ended. For example, venues will be built with a modular design so that the top rows can be taken out and donated to smaller countries. Improved minimum worker requirements and greater auditing measures are some of the other things being done to help change the country's image ahead of the 2022 World Cup.
I know we're a small country, but we have big values. We have let's say big goals we want to achieve. So I believe that that the 2022 World Cup in Qatar will be the best World Cup ever.
From Doha, Qatar, from the Supreme Committee headquarters, I'm Jordan Fort reporting for TVJ Sports.
Thanks, Jordan. And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.